Hey YouTube, I wanted to do a video today for you guys that I have seen floating around, and that is most underhyped books or favorite underhyped books. And I thought that that was a really good topic because it gives me a chance to talk about some of my favorite books that I haven't really ever heard anything or very much about, and I want to be able to pass these on to you and tell you guys about them. Hopefully, maybe it'll get you guys to pick them up as well because these books are so good that I feel that they need to be talked about more, and it gives me the chance to gush about books. These are in no particular order except for the last book I'm going to talk about. I'm going to go in order from book 5 to book 1. These aren't really in any order except for the book number 1, which will be the last book that I talk about. So, first book is Desperation Lingers, and I picked this book up because I won it in a Goodreads giveaway, and I wanted to get it read and reviewed for the author before it came out, and I was able to do that with this one. And then I got another like 50 books that I won. I'm not even joking. So it got kind of out of control, but luckily I was able to pick this one up. And I mean, you look at the cover, it doesn't look that great. It looks kind of hilarious. You could tell that that's a fake nose, and it's just like, what is going on? And she's holding a plunger, and it doesn't really sound that interesting either, honestly. But I won it, and I wanted to give it a shot, so I thought, why not? I'll do it. And I am so glad I did, because this is one of the best books that I have read in a long time. I believe I picked it up in 2014, maybe the end of 2013, but I think it was in 2014. I have to keep this book on my favorite shelf because it was just so great. I had it signed by the author, and so this is a book I'm going to keep forever. This is basically about this woman. Her name is Desperation Lingers. Yeah, that was the name that she was born with, and she's pretty much a joke because her name is ridiculous, and as you can see, that ridiculous nose, and she's kind of really outlandish and outrageous, and she's seen as a joke because a lot of people don't take her seriously because of kind of the way she acts. Like, she doesn't act like an adult. She loves to have fun and just kind of let loose, and she kind of has like the carefree spirit of a child, and it's not really acceptable by adults. She's just kind of seen as a joke in general because of her appearance, and she's a guidance counselor, but she wants to become a teacher, and the principal, who she also happens to be sleeping with, won't move her up. He sees it as a promotion, and again, because he kind of sees her as a joke, like, he just sees her as someone as a quick lay, and that's it. But he doesn't see her as smart enough or enough of a disciplinarian in order to be a teacher, and so she kind of devises a plan to prove to him and prove to everybody else that she does have what it takes to be a teacher. And it's such a cute book. It's hilarious, and that's pretty much what I liked about it. It was really funny. Like, this, I rarely read books that make me laugh out loud because I'm always reading Stephen King or murder books, horror books. That's what I like. So this one was a nice change of pace. So if you want a book that will make you laugh, like almost to the point where you want to pee your pants, then this is a book that I really recommend. It's so good. I don't even know if you can like buy this in stores or anything. I know it's out by now. So I think that this was independently published. I'm not really sure, but if you can find it, definitely go out and get it. The next book is another one that I won in a Goodreads giveaway, and another one that sounded decent. I was actually kind of somewhat interested in it, but it was still a lot better than I was expecting, and I am glad that I read it. And this is another book that is signed to me. This one is personalized. This is Janet Elizabeth Henderson's Lingerie Wars, And this was actually shipped to me from New Zealand. She's from New Zealand, but this is a book that takes place in Scotland, and it's about an Englishman in Scotland. And because she sent it from New Zealand so far away, she actually sent me a nice little postcard with it, and beautiful postcard, and another little personalized thing on the back. And I thought that that was really nice and really sweet of the author to send that to me. I think I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, honestly. It was that good. This Englishman named Lake moves to Scotland because his sister took some of his life savings that he had been saving up, and she wanted to buy a lingerie store. And he gave her the money to do that because she wasn't a child, but he was much older than her, and he saw her as an immature little child, and he felt like he always needed to take care of her, and they didn't have their parents died. And so he told her that he would loan her the money to open up a lingerie shop, but after not too long it started failing. And the reason why is because she opened the lingerie shop up in a tiny little town, and there was already a lingerie shop in the town, and the town was so small there was not really room for two. And the other lingerie shop was owned by a retired lingerie model. And so Lake moves to this town called Inverness in Scotland, and he pretty much bails his sister out, and he helps her solve the issues with the store. First, he wants to just close it down, and then the shop owner named Betty, who is a hilarious character. She is the greatest comic relief ever. She pretty much convinces him not to close the store down and to keep it open. And Lake is extremely good looking, and that is not bad for business at all, and that kind of gets the ladies in there. And it's pretty much a war between these two shops, and who is going to win. Is it going to be the lingerie model's store who's been there for a long time, or is it going to be this guy? And this is a really cute book. It's really endearing, but it also has some comic elements, some really funny moments. As I said, Betty is such a funny comic relief, and if I feel like this would make an excellent movie. Every time I was reading this in my head, I could just say Kirsty, who is the owner of the other shop, the lingerie model. Like I've always pictured Charlize Theron as her, either her or Kate Winslet. And then I don't really know who for Lake, but Betty I always saw as, I don't know her name, Doris or something, I think, the Grandma Marie in Everybody Loves Raymond, whatever her name is. I think that she would be the most perfect Betty. I could just see her in my head playing Betty, and some of the things that she says and some of the things that she does that are hilarious in this, I could totally see Marie doing that. And that was another reason why I loved this, because the characters were so real. And that's what I really liked about this, and I like about a lot of books in general, is I like the characters. Still need to be well written, and I felt like this book did that. Plus, it gave me some laughs. Again, I don't read a lot of funny books, and I didn't expect it to be as funny as it was. It was also really cute. It had some heartfelt moments. It is a romance kind of story, so it had that to it. But it all felt natural and real. Like, the romance did not feel rushed. It didn't feel fake. It was really realistic. I feel like this is a situation that could really happen in real life, which is what I really loved about this. And then there was funny people that, when it was getting really cute, really endearing, just made you want to laugh. And again, I don't know if this is only available overseas, or if this is independently published, or if it's even available in bookstores over here. I'm not sure, but this is a book I would recommend. You guys must go out and pick it up if it sounds like anything you might be interested in, if you love any funny books. The next book is one of my favorite books ever, The Kindness of Strangers by Katrina Kittle. I know I've mentioned this in a couple other of my videos, so I'm not going to really talk about it too much. but pretty much there's secrets going on with this little boy, his best friend. His best friend stops becoming best friends with him, doesn't even want to talk to him for certain reasons, and it sounds like the little boy is a jerk, but in reality there's a terrible dark secret that the little boy is hiding and he's actually protecting his friend from. That's pretty much as I can tell you. It's just about a family and how their lives get torn apart by a secret that is keeping them apart from their friends. It's kind of a hard book to read, not because of the writing, but because of the content. There are some triggers in this book, so if that's something that's difficult for you, I wouldn't recommend it. But this was a really, really good book. I am glad I picked it up. I've never read any of her other books, but I do plan on it. And I've only read this book once, but this is a book I might read in the future. I plan on reading again soon because I don't remember a lot about it. I remember the basic premise, and I remember obviously what happens, but that's about it. And I don't remember. I remember that the writing was really, really good, and that's what I liked about the book. Not necessarily what it was written about, not necessarily the characters, but it was the writing that really got me with this book, and I've never heard anybody else talk about it. I don't know why it's not that popular. It's one that I feel like everybody should read, and it's heartbreaking and amazing, and it's just an all-around awesome book, and I feel like she deserves a lot more recognition. The next book is one I have actually heard some people talk about. I think it's starting to become a little bit more popular. I've heard some big YouTubers talk about it, and I was actually a bit surprised. But I still don't feel like it's talked about as much as it should be. And that is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This is a book that I picked up in a book swap that I had started at my old apartment complex. Was this book, not knowing really anything about it, but it sounded interesting. This was really the only book on the shelf that was not mine that I was interested in, because the other, at that time, because it was still really new, and a lot of people had dropped off either Amish books or romance books, and I wasn't interested in them. But this one I was interested in. I read it, I got rid of it like I do with most books. I know I keep mentioning that in the video, but I don't really keep elaborating. Maybe I will. I should make a video on that, why I don't keep books. I got rid of the book, and then I kept on thinking about it, and thinking about it, and it just kept coming back in my head. Man, that was an amazing book. I missed that book. I really want to read it again, and so I had to go out, of course, and buy it again, and I am glad I actually bought it twice within like a month period, because I saw the book, it was really cheap, I bought it, that was the original cover that I had read the book in, and then I saw this cover, and I liked this cover so much better, so I bought this cover and got rid of the other one. But the blurb in the back is really short, so I will just read it to you guys, and I think that it's kind of hard to explain what this book is about, but I think that the blurb does a really good job. And this is the best description I can give you. Barcelona, 1945. A city slowly heals from its war wounds, and Daniel, an antiquarian book dealer's son, who mourns the loss of his mother, finds solace in a mysterious book entitled The Shadow of the Wind by one Julian Carrix. But when he sets out to find the author's other works, he makes a shocking discovery. Someone has been systematically destroying every copy of every book Carrix has ever written. In fact, Daniel may have the last of Carrick's books in existence. Soon, Daniel's seemingly innocent quest opens a door into one of Barcelona's darkest secrets, an epic story of murder, madness, and doomed love. Yeah, it sounded really interesting, and that was why I picked it up, and I am so glad I did. This is still one of my favorite books to date. This version actually has a blurb on the cover. It says, "One Gorgeous Read" by Stephen King. The copy that I read did not have this blurb on the front. But Stephen King is one of my favorite authors. If that tells you anything. This is really good. I really do not remember the end, honestly, because it's been between 5 or 6 years since I've read the book. I just remember that it was good and that it stuck with me. and it has some amazing quotes in it. If you're a reader who likes to collect quotes from books, then this one has some amazing ones. And I definitely need to read this one again soon because I don't remember the end of what happened. And yeah, I feel like this should be talked about more because it's that good. The last book is my favorite book after Harry Potter. I can't really tear apart Harry Potter individually. The fifth book is my favorite, but I do not say that it's my favorite book because I can't really say that I like one Harry Potter book and not the others. It's because it's a series. I consider it separate from anything else. So I consider Harry Potter the best things I've ever read. My favorite anything I've ever read. But as far as a single novel, a single book, it's my favorite, and that's why this is number one on the list. And that is Watership Down. I do not have it with me because a friend is borrowing it, and I have heard some people talk about it. It is a classic. It's by Richard Adams, but it's not mentioned as much as many other classics, Charles Dickens or Jane Austen. He's not a really well-known writer, but I think that he definitely should be. It's about rabbits and their journey to find a new home because humans are destroying the home that they live in, and it kind of sounds stupid. It's not like it kind of. I know when my teacher recommended it to me, she's like, "Oh, it's a story about rabbits," and I was like, "What? Really? I'm not interested." But it's not like that. It's you forget that you're reading about rabbits because you feel so much a part of the story. I guess it's kind of similar to George Orwell's Animal Farm in a way. You are literally reading about all the animals on the farm, but you get so engrossed into the novel that you don't really realize it. You feel like you are there, you are a part of what's going on. And I know that there's a lot of metaphors and stuff and symbolism in Animal Farm, and Watership Down has that as well. But the difference between Animal Farm and Watership Down is that Watership Down is strictly about rabbits, and Animal Farm has a plethora of different animals. I read it in 8th grade, and it's still my favorite book that I've ever read. I don't even know really what I can say about it. I can't really do it justice because you try to describe the book and it sounds stupid. And I understand that, and I thought the same way when I first heard about it. But it's a book that sticks with you, and it's a book that you feel deep down and into your core. And it's, again, I'm not going to be able to explain it because there's no way that I ever can. It's a timeless classic, and I think I will always be a favorite. I don't know if a book is ever going to bypass that book ever. I just want people to read it. I want more people to know about it, and if what's nice about it is that it's modern writing. It's a newer classic, so it doesn't have old English type of writing. And so if you're looking to get into classics, if you want to feel more cultured and feel like you need to branch out and read more classics but you don't know where to start, Watership Down is a pretty thick book, so it can be kind of daunting, but it is amazing. There's storytelling in it, there is danger in it, there's love in it, multitude of different storytelling aspects in the book, and that's what I really like about it. It's not just about their journey to go and find a new home. It's about so much more than that, and there's a lot of hidden symbolism, and it's a really heart-wrenching book, and I really wish some more people would read it, more people would know about it and give it a shot. Would recommend it to anybody. So that's my list, and those are the books that I wish more people would read. Let me know what your underhyped books are, what your favorite books are that you do not think get enough attention. Let me know down below, and we'll talk about it. If you've read any of these books, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And that's it. So long, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.